What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of 94 Feet with Coach JT. As always, I need y'all to do me a favor. Please leave a like in the comment section. Subscribe to the pod as well. Take a hit. Look at the online store, 94 feet with CoachJT.com. Got some merch up there. Got new episodes dropping. Just thank y'all for y'all support. As you know what I'm saying, we're going to this fourth quarter, right? So I'm trying to bring some new episodes, some new content, some dope people. So I appreciate y'all support. And happy holidays coming up to everybody and their friends and family across the world, whoever listening, man. I appreciate y'all. Let's jump into this intro. My guest today, man, she carries a story of resilience, rebirth, and raw truth. A former foster youth, a mother, a woman who turned her silence into strength, uses her voice to speak to those still finding theirs. Also, she was nominated for an MVP, Most Valuable Poet, by the United Poets Committee. Her presence in both grounded and electric. Her words heal, they challenge and empower. Since her featured in November 24, she's been setting stages ablaze. Feelings of gospel, overlooked, the healing and the rising. She's just, her energy is great. Her vibe is good. I was lucky enough to have her a guest in my classroom real recently to speak with my kids. Natasha, thank you for coming. Thank you for reaching up to me and just connecting twice in a short time frame.
Absolutely. I'm honored. I'm grateful to be connected.
I appreciate you, and I definitely want to start with this because it's most current. You spoke a bit to me offline before getting the opportunity to speak to the youth in my class about wanting to speak to youth yourself. For that to come into fruition, such the timing, the vibe of the classroom, just let's talk about that experience. It's still so fresh and it's still so vibrant. How did that make you feel, and what was that experience like going into that really not knowing what to expect?
It was great for somebody to see something in you that you didn't know you could actually make possible. So I thank you, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm also grateful, like I explained to your class, I wrote this down. I think it was like a little bit over a year ago. I have to go back and read, but that was specifically I wanted to speak to youth. I wanted to speak to students. I didn't know how that was going to look, and I didn't know what I was going to talk about per se, but it was just one of the bestest feelings, probably not a word, but the bestest feelings to be able to be myself, to share my story with the youth, with students, and for them to be able to ask questions, for me to be able to share my poetry, and they resonated. I was like, because me performing my show, it's usually older,
Right.
Probably about 25, 30 plus. But for teenagers,
14,
15, to be like, do that again. Do you have another poem?
Right.
I'm like, wait, what?
Full class, about 35 students.
Yes. Just completely, everybody's engaged.
Yeah.
Not everybody asked questions. Some were shy,
Right.
but everybody was taking notes.
Right.
Everybody was writing. We did a writing exercise, and people were sharing.
Yeah.
Students were actually sharing, and my heart was filled with so much love.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to do this again.
That was the energy you're already a natural energized person. You can tell you speak publicly, but then you walk to the room. But to drop that first poem, because of course, I know kids probably like, all right, who's professor bringing in next, right? But then by the time you used to open, they were like, that was a little loud. What girl said?
Yeah.
That was a little loud. It was like,
she's like, you were yelling at me.
But it's
I was
like,
no.
But just to see them afterward, they were like, oh, they were snapping, doing the snaps and
Yes.
doing the whatever. They would clap. I said, oh, she got him.
What is it? The kids do?
Yeah,
this?
they're doing this, and they were doing this with the little hand line. But
Yes.
it was like, oh, she got him. And then they were engaged, right? And then they got a little more relaxed, asked questions, but also you can see the interest peaked in them. Again, for me, it's just like seeing one, like I spoke to somebody else too about just, I want to put my students in front of people like them or not, but just something different they might not experience.
Exactly.
But also somebody who can be relatable, but possibly outside of education path is not for everybody, right?
Exactly. But
You still able to make a career path out of this possibly, but also you got to follow those dreams or tell your story. But how you tell it is half the business. And I was like, well, somebody who tells their story professionally is the best thing to have come in the classroom. And then you took it away, and they were just like, oh, can we have another one? Are you coming back? And I was like, well, if she want to come back, yeah, she can come back. But that was dope. But overall feeling for you personally, you talked about your kids,
Yes.
giving their kind of pre-synopsis of this. What'd you tell them afterwards you went home, how it went for you?
I said, y'all, I had so much fun. I said it was so much fun. They were like, for real, Mom? I said, they asked me to come back. They were like, I'm so proud of you, Mom.
Ah, that's dope.
So for them to be proud of me, to be able to talk to students and kids their age,
Right.
and they resonate, it resonates, and they look like them.
Yeah. And I think
that is beautiful.
You talked about that just starting free opportunity wise, but I think that can be the start of something else, right? Like I said, so now it's just, hey, we get these topics, get this interview out there. People are like, well, you're available to do that. Because a lot of kids, I believe now, and at the age group, they are either spoken word or they do write.
Yes.
But now they may need a little bit of encouragement or see somebody like, okay, you can do this. Because I saw some young men, ladies in that class, they was like, I know as a homework assignment, I assigned no work to do summary, but some were actually like, taking notes and writing. So hopefully you get some more poets out of that and stuff like that.
I'm excited because I did ask them that question. I said, does anybody write poetry? But nobody raised their hand. But some students, they do write. So for me to be able to ask certain questions, or they hear how I or am sharing my poetry, they're like, okay, that's different. Right? Because you have some people that are under the impression that all poetry has to rhyme or it has to be in this specific form. And I learned myself that poetry, there's so many different forms. So be able to share what I learned with them, and they're like, oh, wow, like that's interesting. Like that's beautiful. That's planting those seeds, because the last thing to grow on the fruit tree is the fruit. So I'm able to come in your classroom and plant seeds with these kids. And it's like, now they're like, okay, I want you to come back. So that means that we're planting more seeds.
You did.
And then somebody else is going to share that, like you asked that question, whose grandparents are alive. That moved me. Like that was moving, because I'm like, we're having real conversations with stuff they can do tonight. They can go home and have these conversations tonight with their family. They can go spend the night, and they usually don't spend the night with the grandparents.
You said that too, intentional. Go stay over there.
Go.
Show up.
Go. Just, you don't even don't ask, because what they're gonna do is that grandparent, that elder's gonna go in that kitchen and start cooking for you.
You already know. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's always a plus. Definitely. And to have them do the writing exercises too, I thought was super creative. And you let them lead gave them a couple of prompts, but also like be free will, right? But also I think with the structure of it too was, okay, right for this time, they'll get something out, but then I like break the ice. One of them shared fire poems or fire and whatever.
Fire. Like I was like, what? Like it was, and then it's powerful, it's inspirational. And then we went around with the quotes, and I'm like, okay, so y'all know some stuff.
They do.
Y'all know a lot more than y'all are letting off, but also you don't realize that those are the mantras that you need to keep reciting to yourself, keep repeating. It's powerful, and it's very profound that they learn it from their elders, or my grandpa from the Bible, my grandmother, you know, this verse from the church. Saying, right? I was like, oh, this is deep.
And I think it's okay for us. I mean, it needs to be highlighted too. Like, you know, we know the music and the rap stuff, but they're in that space too, where it's okay to shine a light on that as well. Absolutely. Or they don't look that, it shouldn't be shunned upon. You guys can be that person who you want to be also as well. And I think you did a great job of bringing them out of that. But I think that's also why. I know that's why they want you to come back, because they either see they want to know more about it, or they want some more practice at it, or they want to feel more comfortable in their skin in that. I think you did a great job at that. But it was so cool to see him come in and you leave. They're like, wait, is she coming back? And I saw your face. You were like, really?
You're gonna make me cry? Like yes.
It was genuine, right? It was authentic.
It was very genuine.
As we know, our youth are gonna be unapologetically them, but they're gonna be like with no filter. If you was trash, they'd be like, Professor, she's trash, don't bring her back. Not nobody. No, everybody, like, they had their hands raised. They were like, okay, she coming back. I said, all right, well, we got to make that happen. So
absolutely.
Again, kudos to you in that aspect.
Thank
it was
you.
Super dope.
Thank you.
Super dope.
For sure.
The spoken piece word in general, right? I think a lot of people will go through that phase. We try to write some stuff down or say it, but it takes certain people to be bold about it, but also experiences wise to come out of that shell, that certain kind of containment box to just let the world hear. What was influential about you wanting to now get out into the public with it, though? Like, because you probably were writing for a while or just had thoughts, but like I know some of the kids that say, what was that first step? Like, what made you go into that?
I think I had to really understand for myself, was this going to be the end of the day for me, or my day one to go share these words that I had? I kept seeing these open mics, CSSB, that's where it started. And I just went. And that first one, I was just reading from my phone. I was real nervous. I was real quiet, but then I just kept coming back. And then in that space, all I'm meeting is poets. I'm meeting poets that have been doing this for years. Some have a career. Some have people that are supporting them, and they're going back and forth. That engagement, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, not just sharing that poetry piece, but the engagement. So then it's like you feel so welcome. Like you want to keep coming back. So as I'm going to the open mics, then I was introduced to Self Design's art gallery, to Self in Love. And that was at the old location. It was still in downtown Sac. Kept going to their open mics. Then Self and Silas came to me like, oh, you're going to do the feature. I was like, the feature? What do you mean the feature? And I kept sharing, and people were like, wow, you're an amazing poet. And I'm like, I'm not a poet. I'm just writing this stuff. I'm just reading this stuff. But She Writes and Ace, they looked at me and told me, you wrote those words? You said that in front of everybody? You're a poet. And then Terry Moore lets me know I'm a spoken word poet. And then I was paid for a feature on his show. And like I had my picture on the flyer. My man, his brother is a photographer and did my headshots for me. He has a recording studio. So I had like these professional pictures to be able to send. And now it's on the flyer. And I'm like, wow, this has been, it'll be a year this month on the 8th that I started sharing.
That's a lot's happened in a year.
A lot.
But you can shout out to you for being consistent. A lot of people say it too, right? It's a hard thing to keep going.
It is.
Stop or adversity slows us down and things like that. But what about it has been the most as far as like just impactful part to you for right now? What do you think you say like the impression wise, like, oh, I feel good or this is why I do this?
The youth with your classroom. Sharing my poetry with those adults is one thing. Coming to a show and it's fun. But being able to talk to the youth, to a child, no matter what, they can be teenagers, as a child, and they resonate with what I'm saying, that feeling, it was intoxicating. And I just was like, I want to talk to the kids. I want to be able to relate to the kids. I want to be able to answer their questions. I want to be able to put it together to keep planting the seeds. So aside from the shows, the open mics, and meeting, all the other artists, meeting the kids, that was the bestest feeling thus far. And
as you know, like we talked about in the little bit of the intro about the foster youth or just children in general, right?
Yes.
Having something they can do positively, nowadays I think it's just different. The distractions or the risk are there outside of the things that are not safe. Writing or speaking is one of the best things you can do and the safest as far as expression. How important do you feel that is for anybody, not just children, to find some type of thing to either write, you're writing down or type on the phone. You talk about kids, but in your phone with no excuses. Y'all got phones, y'all got pens, y'all got tablets. You can type, you can write. How impactful or important do you think it is for people to just tap into that side of them to relieve like stress or certain things, express their self in a safe way?
It's literally vital for your survival. There's no other way to put it other than it's vital for your survival. I've been thinking about this for the past couple of days, so I'm going to say it here. We have to really normalize being okay with being bored in some point of our day. If we don't have the ability to be bored, something or someone else is thinking for you. You don't have the ability to form an independent thought. If you don't have the ability to form an independent thought, then you're not thinking for yourself. You can't even hear the voices in your head. Don't be scared of them. It's like going on a walk. It doesn't even matter if you just start going on a walk for 10 minutes a day. Go walk this far to go see the water. Okay, I've been driving past this area. Let me just go walk there. Okay, I've been seeing this coffee shop has this these days, or this event space has this. Meet the people where you have to go outside to meet like-minded individuals, but you have to be yourself so your people can find you.
Yeah, I know.
You have to.
You talked a lot about just even more so spending time with yourself, or that's a bigger thing now. It is being talked about more about just, or slowing down.
Yes.
Taking that time to not do something, but in that space when you do that, other things can happen. You can clear your mind.
Yes.
You get rest.
Yes.
You may get sleep or stuff like that. But if you're always doing or going, you don't allow your body to do that, which ultimately you can't express to others if you're not feeling good, if you don't get your rest, if you're not on point. So definitely that, I see that, and just realizing that youth especially, I mean, even our young adults, like there's other ways to do stuff, and it's okay to use your words or your writing and just put them out there if it's artwork like that, and it's okay.
It is.
And everybody doesn't have to like it.
They don't, and that's the way they express themselves. Because you hear some people, if I do this, if so and so says this, or I'm gonna be embarrassed. I'm gonna tell you this right now. A majority of the time, the things that you're thinking that other people are thinking about you, they're really not. They're not. But if somebody is going to be looking at you for doing what you do best, which is being yourself, laugh at them for being the same like everybody else. Because some people be laughing at me because I'm different. I laugh at them because they're all the same.
That's what's up. That's a dope way to look at it, because ultimately you got to be comfortable with you.
You have to. You because like I said in my poem, if you're not feeling you, how can you be felt? Oh, I want to do this. I want these people to do this. Okay, what are you doing so people can show up for?
That's what's up. That's real. And I know before I'm gonna get you doing these poems too, but the word play, as they say, right? I mean, I'm in a lot of I listen to poetry here and there, but more so last couple of years, more so a lot of the battle rap scene, like freestyle. I'm like, the word play is so crazy for people. I mean, yourself, is that something you've worked on crafting, or is that something you feel like you knew how to put these words together for a while now, because that's
it's funny that you say that. So I'm gonna answer it like this. So I was born in Lawrence, Kansas, right?
Okay.
But growing up in foster care, I was in and out of Lawrence, Kansas. But I graduated from high school in Vallejo, in the Bay Area.
Okay.
So if I go anywhere else and people are like, "Where are you from?" and I'm like, "Well, I was, born in Lawrence, Kansas. But I was raised in the Bay." If you ask my brother and sister, because I still am saying like I'm from Kansas. But I can say I feel like a lot of the words that I've created or made up, it has a lot to do with Mac Dre, Too Short, Mr. Fab. Like, you got all these Bay Area artists. It's so influential. Like, you hear that beat and it's like, what?
You know what it is.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel my words and I'm just like, you know what it is. Like, that's just how I feel when I'm sharing it.
Because I even watching the kids and some of the words, they were like, what? But they didn't. It flows so good. It was like, oh, that was fire. It was like that was good. I was like, yeah, I caught that late too, but it was dope. So I think like, but that's so important to, also for you. Shout out to you for tapping anybody who's doing that field too. Though, it's just like, man, it's not for everybody. Though.
It's not.
It's not for everybody, but to make it flow or to make it resonate or to get people to be like, oh wait, okay, wait.
Yes, like can you repeat that? Can you say that again?
Yep.
They're like, wait a minute, you caught me off guard, and I'm like, that's the whole point of being yourself, because no matter what, anybody can say the words that I say,
but
not how I say it though. You go in the bread aisle, how many loaves of bread are in there? But we only like our certain type of bread.
Yep. That's real.
There's something like you have to like, and that's why my name is Natasha Lanes for poetry. Mm-hmm. So Natasha Lanes, you live your life in your lanes. You mind your own, you live long. You stay in your own lanes in life to avoid accidents. Remember, I was explaining to the students, like, because what happens when you're on the freeway and you over there minding somebody else's business because you're not paying attention to your rear view mirrors. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You worried about other people. Yep. It's the same thing with life. People minding other people's business. People got all the advice for everybody else, or you worried about somebody else's life and they don't even know who you are.
Right. And that's the thing. I know we're in a time where social media is a big factor in that. But sometimes, not sometimes, I know people use it for different avenues, business, but also it's like, it is what you want them to be, but also that's his perception of them giving out. Because it's okay I can show y'all this part. I can live with something different because I just want y'all to see this part for what I need for business-wise or for whatever else I need, or just for marketing or just for whatever. But behind here, I can be and it's okay for me to be me outside of that. This is for y'all, bring me income or bring me likes or for buttons, that's it. But I can be something totally different. And accept that for what it is. And I think people got to realize that too. Social media is what people put out there to
what
be.
You choose. And like, with all due respect, I'm not I'm not responsible for your perception of me. And if I'm too much for you, I don't have the ability to water myself down to make myself more digestible for you. With all due respect, you can't choke. Because people be like, tone it down, because that was a big thing for me. Tone it down.
But that's you though.
You too loud. And that was the biggest thing for how I share my poetry. So like, somebody can see the podcast, but then they see my poetry, they're like, wait a minute. Like, that's the point though, right?
But that's what makes you. I can tell, because that's how you start. I'm telling you, I didn't know the first poem. I was like, oh yeah, but I've heard it before. I was like, oh yep, that's her tone. But the kids were like, oh my. Yes. But they have not, one, maybe been exposed to that, but two, some may be like, they probably was like, oh yeah, see, it's okay to be me.
It's okay to be you, and that's the biggest thing when I was asking them about being authentically themselves. So I feel like when I come back, that's going to be the biggest topic for us to dive into: authenticity and really being yourself unapologetically. Because that means no matter, like, even if everybody's wearing that because they're going to the store to buy that, but you're like, I actually like this. That was big for me growing up. I'm like, I actually like these colorful stuff, or I like this. Right. And people are like, that doesn't match. That isn't in style. Right. I'm in style. I make whatever it is that I want to make put together. Yep. I don't want to just go to every single store and buy what everybody else is buying. I don't want to look how everybody else is looking. I would much rather buy earrings from a black-owned business. That those little pieces of jewelry that I'm already going to buy, why not support somebody that made it with their hands?
That's what's up.
Why not put your own clothes together? Because everybody, like, that's you can tell when somebody loves themselves. You can see that. You can see that in the way they treat others.
That's a big thing too, and I know in this space too, because you're really sharing your words to others, but also they resonate. They're gonna stick with certain people. Like, people, they're gonna grab onto those things. I know that's what happened that day too, because the way when you're upon like leaving, or when they actually come back, something had to stick. If they didn't want you to come back, they wouldn't have asked. But it was the way you still were being you. You didn't come in there like, okay, class, let's do that. Because that would be probably the worst, right?
Yes.
But they were like, okay, nah. Even they was asking questions. They was vibing. They was writing. I was looking around. I'm like, oh, they're really taking this in. But also maybe it's their first exposure to this. So I'll say you're the first one that left a lasting impression on them.
Thank you. And that's, like you said, they probably never seen anybody that looks like me speak the way I look.
Well, in person too, right? TV different. No, you're in front of them.
Yes. And
that's tangible.
Exactly, because anybody can watch a video. Oh, I've seen that person or that video, or they were, in that place. I've seen them perform. But to see somebody live, the energy, like
it was different in the room.
It's way different, and it's like you can't describe it. You can try to like, oh my God, that energy's great.
It's a feel.
It's a feel. Like that is the human experience. That's what life is about. Like with the social media all day and age, but like to really have human interaction face to face, to say, oh wow, you felt that way too. I didn't have a way to put those words together to explain my feelings. To explain what I'm going through or growing through, however that may look, because it looks different for us all.
It was definitely a dope experience, and I would encourage anybody who sees this, who's interested in having her come out to your class or speak to your group, DM me, send her a message as well. Like I said, we'll definitely help set that up, because she spoke it to existence, but now it's out there. It's on the plane. Like, it's proof. I've seen it. I got 35 witnesses that can vouch for her. So she's legit. So if y'all definitely want to get some information with that, tap in too. But I know I got to have you recite something for us right now. You know what I'm saying? And here you can be totally you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to see you. You can be totally you, however you want to let this go. But again, I just want you guys to really take to heart what she's doing, what she has done, but also where she wants to go with this. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to help push it forward and catapult this thing.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. All right, I'll share a piece of one. Never know how you will receive what you need at the perfect moment in your life. When forever doing right, constantly feeling like a fight, not feeling heard, so you work on your own self. Play your cards, the hand you was dealt, because if you're not feeling you, how can you be felt? Poem.
See, and she ends it so quickly with the poem. It's like, but I'm telling you, the kids was snapping, they was vibing.
They were like, I was
like, that's okay, but that's dope. But even that right there, like I said, for somebody out there who's listening, who may be wants to be inspired, stuff like too. But also, where can they, if they want to follow you now, we got to get everything out there. What you got coming up? Because they want to pop up on you, as our kids say, slide. Let us know where you at, where they can find you.
Absolutely. All that stuff. We have Black Women in Poetry with Zaisha. She has me as her co-director. I haven't decided on 50-50 or performing, but I most likely will be performing. It's November 8th at Blue Q. And then I have open mics. I go to Self Designs Art Gallery on Thursdays. And then if you follow me on Instagram, Natasha_Lanes with the S, I post where I have the other shows, and I post like links where to find the podcast when they come out. So this is my third podcast.
Look,
I'm so
she
grateful.
Busy now. She getting busy.
I'm so honored. I'm so grateful.
Getting busy.
So yeah, it's going to be going out to open mics, the events that I have. And then like, if it's other events I'll go to just to support, I'll share that as well. And whatever next classroom I have the honor to, bless my presence.
So you educators, please let me know. Like, a lot of educators will watch this. People I know, vice versa. Like, let me know if you'd like her to come speak life to the youth, even to your staff. They may need to be able to see some words, some energetics on their staff training days. You may need something different to come through and energize the staff. Dealing with our youth as well.
And I am connected with Patrice Hill. Miss Hill.
I tagged you.
I
Patrice,
seen that.
She's like, that's my girl. I said, I know.
Yes.
She told me.
So I am going to be going through the background check and starting the fingerprint with the says. So I'm honored.
Yeah. But like I said, that's the connection right through.
Exactly.
Met in this space. Within a week later, we're talking. We're back here again recording. Shout out to again Woods Media here.
Shout out to Woods Media.
Tell y'all, A1. We
you
good
see
here,
it.
man. Yeah, y'all see it. They know. Like, they know, man. So just appreciate them as well for making things happen on a phone call every time.
Absolutely.
Before we get out of here, I ask all my guests too. So triple threat in basketball is, can you dribble, pass, and shoot? Not can you. You should be able to dribble, pass, shoot the basketball. But for my guests, I asked them, what's your personal triple threat? 3 things that when they see you either come into a room or you go into an event, like 3 things how you hold yourself or carry yourself. What can they know? Like, this is Natasha. This is her. This is how she moves, how she walks about herself.
My smile and eye contact.
Okay.
And sometimes people, even when they make eye contact, but I've always been taught by my elders, my grandmother and my mother, you speak when you walk in the room. So I like to speak. How you doing? How you feeling? So they know that I'm here. And when I know that you really accept me for me, and I know that I like love you unconditionally, the excitement to see you, like I have this excitement. Like it's the intoxicating energy, because energy don't be fibbing. So
I was waiting for that to come up too. She said it before. I said what? But it makes sense. It won't lie to you.
It doesn't.
If your aura's not right, if your vibe not right, or if it's good, it's going to show.
It reciprocates, because energy doesn't die. It's either going to be transferred or amplified.
Fire.
It doesn't die. Energy does not die.
That's what's up, man. It don't lie. She said, man, it don't be fibbing.
It don't be fibbing.
You heard it here first, man. We're at Woods Media. Appreciate y'all.
Thank
Natasha,
you.
Again, thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr. Roberts.
Here, 94 Feet with Coach JT. We are out. Peace.